Today we're going to install two electric bilge pumps into a whitewater canoe. These pumps are 500 gallon a minute. They do not come float switch adaptable, so there are two manual switches here. There's some tubing and electrical wires back there. You can see there's a couple of different pieces that go onto the switch. The switch itself is a self-contained unit. The battery is a small 12-volt battery, fairly standard for a house alarm. It does weigh about 5 pounds. They're pretty cheap though. Here are two fuse holders. There's a 3 amp fuse in there. I've got a waterproof box that we'll look at more in a little bit. And there's the wiring harness makes it easy to hook up two pumps and be able to just sort of plug it in, and the one side of it's wired to stuff inside of the box. The other end is wired to the pumps themselves. It's important to know what is going to go in the box before you get the box so that you get the right size and have enough space inside. So you can see there's foam in there, and I've already removed some of the foam so that the battery will sit down into the box. There are a few other things that have to go into the box, but I didn't want to remove any of the foam until I had wired it up. Both the fuse holders will go in the box. The switches will go in the side. And so in addition to those two holes, you'll have to put a hole in the side for the wires to one side of your trailer hitch. No, one side of your trailer harness. Here on the side of the box we'll have the two switches on the top, and then I'll put another hole in the bottom or near the bottom for the wiring harness wires to go through. I test drilled a sheet of plywood to make sure that I had the right size drill bit for just the threads on this to go through. I've got everything wired up. Nothing's glued in yet. Left all the wires as long as possible so that I can make adjustments as necessary when actually installing it in the boat, but let's see if it works. That's one. That's two. So here's the wiring all completed. Let's just go through it real quick. The green wire is part of the trailer harness, and it'll get connected to the ground. The red wires are coming from the fuse holders. Two of those will get spliced together and connect to the positive side of the battery. So that's this wire here. The other side of, or the other wire that comes out of the fuse holder, one wire for each switch. So if you don't have two switches, you don't need two wires, obviously. You don't need two fuse holders. So each of these goes to a switch, and then the other wire that comes out of the switch gets wired to the trailer harness. So that'd be the yellow and the brown wires are going to the trailer harness, and the black wires come out of the switches. So the trailer harness will come through your box, and you'll have the other end of the trailer harness to plug into it. This one's connected to the pumps themselves. Again, the yellow and brown wires each get a single connection to the positive wire that comes out of your pump. The negatives you'll need to splice together and connect to that green wire so that the ground is complete. I've got the pumps fastened in here. So here's the 2 pumps secured on the bottom of the boat, just with a bungee cord and a couple clips. The box is strapped to the back of the saddle, and then the 2 hoses come up and go over the side. Here's another view. So we're down on the water now. Going to do the first test of the electric bilge pumps, which you can see are tucked down in there pretty snug. So here's the boat with a good amount of water in it. And there's the pumps shooting the water out.